second, yeah, we on that time. 60 on the board, now we start that climb. Get ready, get set, yeah, the moment's now. When it hits zero, we gon' show you how. Yeah, 50 seconds, feel the energy rise. Heartbeat fast, yeah, you feel that vibe. Lights get bright, yeah, the stage gets set. We ain't even started, but you ain't ready yet. 40 on the clock, now we pick up pace. Every second count, yeah, we in that race. Crowd tuned in, yeah, they locked in tight. Whole room buzzing, yeah, we taking flight. Yeah, 30 seconds left, now we turn it up. No slowing down, gotta fill that cup. Energy peaking, yeah, it's building fast. Blink one time, might miss that blast. 40 on the clock, yeah, we feel to the heat. Baseline knocking, got you out your seat. Hands go up, yeah, we ready to go. Whole vibe shift when we hit that flow. 10, 9, feel that energy climb. 8, 7, yeah, it's almost time. 6, 5, yeah, we live right now. 4, 3, let me hear that crowd. 2. Steve on the mic, yeah, the nurse got skill. Break it down smooth. The whole squad chill, talking about kidneys. Yeah, we keep them on track. If your numbers off balance, he gon' bring them right back. Got the wisdom on deck, no stress, just facts. Hydration, motivation, every time he reacts. From the clinic hallway to your podcast feed, dropping gems so fresh, yeah, that's all you need. Stevethekidneynurse, yeah, you know the name. Keep your body in check, yeah, we play no games. Real talk, real health, yeah, we keep it pure. Tap in right now, Stevethekidneynurse, yeah. Stevethekidneynurse, yeah. Stevethekidneynurse.
Good evening and welcome to Dialysis Life with Stevethekidneynurse. I am Stevethekidneynurse and I am truly grateful to have you here for our 4th episode. Can you believe it? 4 episodes. Now check it out. Before we get started with tonight's show, I had to put up our show disclaimer. Hey, we don't want nobody coming in trying to sue us, talking about you giving out medical information. But no, the information provided on Dialysis Life with Stevethekidneynurse is provided for educational and informational purposes only and is not intended or implied to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, and treatment. Now, with that out the way, I have a show for you. Share this live. If you know anybody on dialysis about to start, bring them here. Tonight, I'm honored to welcome Geoffrey Phillips from Trinidad, who will be sharing his powerful story of struggle, strength, and survival. Geoffrey's story is a reminder of how life can change so quickly and how important it is to keep pushing forward, and even in the hardest moments. So get ready, stay locked in, and let's give Geoffrey a warm welcome as we dive into this heartfelt conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Geoffrey Phillips, and let's give him the VIP welcome. We're going to give you the VIP welcome. Hey, Geoffrey, how you doing? You got to unmute.
Yes, Steve. Good night. Good night, everyone. How you going, Steve?
All
My
right, how you
buddy.
doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
I
Thank the
finally
Lord.
got you on here. You know, I wanted to bring you on because I've seen you in many lives, and
Yes,
you've been trying to come up and share your story. And I said to myself, this is not the platform to share your story. I wanted to share it on a
correct.
much broader platform. So welcome, man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much.
What part of Trinidad do you reside from?
I'm in Trinidad I live on the West Indies, Trinidad, and it's Trinidad and Tobago, but I live in Trinidad.
Okay,
Not too far from Piaco International Airport. You could say the Trinity area, Trinity El Dorado area in
sure,
Trinidad.
sure. Hey, Jeff, can you move over to your right just a little bit? Or your
To my
camera?
right,
Yeah, there you go. There you go. You're right there in the center. Excellent.
right.
Perfect. So,
Yes, Steve.
Jeff, let me start off by asking you, can you tell me or tell us a little bit about yourself and what life was like for you um, before all this happened?
Wow, it's a long story.
Well, you could be a little brief.
Steve. I was self-employed as a managing director of my own company together with my wife. I run my company. I was self-employed, and till one day I bumped my toe and damaged my toe, and I had to have surgery to remove the toe. And then moving the process of moving the toe, I had diabetes at the same time, and I end up the foot ended up turning color, gangrene. So I had to leave the country and go to the United States
So
to
wait a minute,
mercy.
Jeff. Wait a minute.
Ah,
Before you get into that, before all this happened, you had your own business. What were you, a contractor?
a private investigator, a security company.
Okay, so you're a private investigator. What
Yeah,
was your what
and
was your
also I
diet
worked for the court. Also, I worked for the High Court
like? Okay,
as
okay.
a bailiff, going
So
and seize property.
what was your diet like?
By KFC. It
Okay,
was KFC eating anything because I was on the road most of the time from 4 a.m. in the morning. My wife will leave. My wife and I will leave to go to work, and rest of the day we out all day, doing high court judgments with marshals and stuff, and we'll be out whole day until 5 o'clock in the evening, and we might reach home might reach home in the night time. So
okay,
we had a busy schedule, and we always had to eat food on the road while we were on the road, moving on the road, stop and buy anything on the road and eat. So I never
okay.
really had a positive diet that I used to follow. I just eat what I could grab.
Right. Did you do
Sometimes
any?
we wouldn't have breakfast.
Did
We'll
you
just leave home
exercise?
early in the morning. Yeah, we'll miss skip breakfast and go straight to work because sometimes when we leave home, we have to meet the High Court marshals at a location to execute their judgment. So we have to be there on time. We can't be late because if we're there late, they will leave. So we have to be early. So we'll leave early and then so while we working, you will get our breakfast. You might have a late breakfast or go straight into lunch.
Hmm. So did you exercise? Was that part of your routine?
But what I was doing, I was exercising, playing a lot of walking, so I would call it exercising around town, so. But I didn't do much exercise. No, I didn't do much exercise and stuff.
Okay. So let me go on to the next question, and then that could kind of go on to some of your story that you was going to lead into. I just wanted to see and for you to share what your life was like before the toe got cut and
Yeah,
then that journey. So when you noticed the cut on your left great toe, what were your hopes for recovery? Did you just think
Well,
it was a cut and it would heal?
exactly. When I got up the morning, I seen this gash on my toe. I said, "Look, anyhow, it will heal." I started to take care of it and stuff. Then I realized that it started to turn a color. So I say, hear me, I will go. You see me, I going to the hospital with this. I need to go to the hospital and see what's going on with this too. And they just removed the toenail and they started to cut where started to change color and stuff. And then eventually they removed the toe and they left it like that, and then it started to turn dark. And then a friend of mine in the US told me to come up. An old friend of mine, a nurse, she told me to come up to North Carolina. And I jumped in the plane 2 days after, and I left and I went up and tried to save the toe, but they couldn't, so they ended up removing the toe. They ended
So,
up removing the foot. They ended up
so
removing
Jeff,
the foot.
let,
And that's
let
when
me,
everything started.
okay. Let me ask you, let me just go back before you get into that journey. When you found out your toe was cut, did you think that that would heal quickly?
Yes, I thought so. I thought so because I had many cuts like that. I had many cuts like that, worse than that, and it healed on its own because my diabetes was controlled. But I don't know where I went wrong. I don't know if it's age, how I got older, where it wouldn't heal or whatever, how I get older and stuff. It didn't heal, started to heal and stuff like that because I was much younger when I got bruises and cuts in my 20s and in my 30s. Now I'm approaching 50, so it will be a hard time for anything to really heal in my body, you
Right.
know?
So let me ask you, what worried you the most at that point when you noticed it wouldn't heal quickly? What worried you the most?
Well, I didn't think about losing the foot. I didn't thought about losing the foot, you know what I mean? I wasn't worried about it because I didn't think about it. I thought the toe would have just healed. But when the doctor cut off the toe itself, that is when I tell myself my foot is not going to come back because they didn't stitch it back. They just cut it off and leave it open and cover it, and my foot just started to turn black. My
Yes.
foot, the toes, everything. And I realized to myself, I'm not going to have back my feet again because when I reached up to the US, that is where they told me they cannot save the foot. They have to
Okay.
amputate it.
So before you got to the US, what was it like trying to get help from different doctors in Trinidad and not getting the
Wow.
relief you needed?
Steve, I went the whole of Trinidad from Sandy Granny by some doctor, some foot doctor called Ikulu, and then it had the next one down south. And they just take, well, I wouldn't call the names, but they just take your money, take your money, take your money. They could have just tell you they can't save it. They just took my money. I must have spent about $15,000 that money that,
Oh
you
wow.
know, you had there and just they had to spend it.
So how did that experience affect you emotionally?
Boy, well, getting up to losing the foot, I had a lot of tears. I cried a lot. It was hurtful. I study how I'm going to take care of my family, which is my wife and myself, how I'll take care, how I'll pay my bills, how how I'll work, and especially when I got up and see the tube in my chest for
Mm,
dialysis one time. And I realized that I am finished here. You know what I mean? There's no more coming back. I told myself there's no more coming back, and that is it for me. You know, I'm still in the process, doing things to trying to get accustomed not having a leg. I still have to get a prosthetic leg. I'm still going through what I'm going through because remember, number one, I'm not working and my wife is not working, so it's kind of really tough. And in my country, it takes you a long period of time to get social worker to try to assist you because I've applied for it. They denied me the first time because I traveled to the US, and then I applied again, and now they're telling me now that they don't have a social worker for the area, for my area, right?
Wow.
So that is
So
it.
let me ask you, before you came to the US to see those doctors, did you feel heard and supported during that time?
Boy, I had the most biggest support in the United States. These doctors and Mercy is the best. What was that? What's the question again?
Did you feel during the time before you came to the US, while you was in
Before, right?
Trinidad, did you feel that you was being heard and supported during that
No,
time?
no. Not in Trinidad. Not the doctors in Trinidad, neither the nurses. No.
Hmm.
No, the rest couldn't care. You see, it's about, you see, if they cut a limb in Trinidad, the doctors make money off of your limb. So if your limb costs 20,000 to them to take off your limb, any part of your body, the doctors will tell you they need to cut off. Because how come when I reach up to the United States, they could have saved my foot if the doctor didn't cut it off?
Mm.
This time I should have come just so they'll be able to save it, have something that is do. I don't know what it is do, but it's do it. You know? And
Yeah.
they make money here by just cutting off and just don't give a damn. I'm
Yeah,
saying it
same
as
here in
it
the
is.
US. Same here in the
Um,
US.
um,
It's the same here in the United States.
but
They
I feel
amputate.
as much. I had a different I had a different experience up there, which was great. You know, I had no problems at all with the doctors, nurses, none of them are there. It was really nice. They
Okay.
were really nice. They were very professional in what they did.
So let
You
me
will
ask.
know because this is your field. You will know the doctors and so many people there and thing and which places are good and which places are bad. You have them there, but my experience was great.
Okay. Okay. So Jeff, how did you feel when you were told that your big toe needed to be amputated?
I was all fit and I was all fit. That I didn't feel a how once I was going to lose my leg, but I was okay with it. I was okay with it. But from the time I saw that my toe was the part of the foot where the tick of the toe was healing, I got depressed one time.
So what was that a difficult decision for you?
Oh yeah, when I was in the hospital up there, it take 3 days for me to decide, and I couldn't take too long before the city gangrene might spread. So I had to make a quick decision to remove the foot, and then I made the decision, and I was just knocked out. And when I got up a couple days after, I went in a coma one time too. I was in a coma, and when I came out of the coma, and then I had to realize I was on dialysis. My foot gone. It was terrifying. It was really terrifying. I had weeks of crying, weeks of crying. But now, some days I'll cry about it. I'll pray about it. I'll cry about it. And now I don't worry about it. It's just trying to get back strength in the body, strength in
Mhm.
my body to move around and stuff. I believe once I get a prosthetic leg, I will be able to move as how I want. And maybe catch back my mobility and you know to work and stuff like that because it's not easy depending on anyone for help. Not all the time everybody could help you because I could say on my hand, I could just count on my hands. I have a handful, you know, of friends and people who really do care does help me, you know,
Yes. Yes.
and that is give me the help that I need. You know what I mean? That is give me the help that I need. And they will take off their nose to spoil their face to help me. I've seen it. You know, look this
Hey
one. I
Jeff,
couldn't even go.
let me ask
Um,
you, when you made that decision to have your foot amputated, what was going through your mind at that time?
Steve, I could really say now, boy, because it's either two things. It's either the gangrene take over my body and kill me. It's either remove it. I had no choice, but I had to remove it. I didn't want to. I wanted to die with it on. But when I look at my wife in the hospital and she had the side of my bed, I realized I'm selfish. I'm gonna leave her right here, you know. So I made a decision. I asked her what to do. She tell me you have to do it. I'm with you. Whatever your decision is, I'm with you. So I made a decision. Let them remove it.
Hmm.
I didn't
So,
feel anything. I was put to sleep, and when I woke up, everything was just gone.
so
So it was very hard.
let me ask you, Jeff.
Yes.
After the surgery of your big toe, and when they realized the wound still wasn't healing, what concerns did you have?
If it will be able to heal, if that somebody could heal it, if there's any place I can go to have it heal, if anybody can treat this gangrene, I was started to research. We started to research online. My wife and I started to research online and all over the world to see if there's anybody who could deal with it. You know, and there's a friend of mine who called me from North Carolina, and I told her my plight and whatever and what happened and thing, and she was a nurse. She was a nurse in the ER. So she have experience with these things, and she told me to come up to North Carolina.
Hmm.
And I went up, I jumped on a plane and I went up, my wife and we went up and she gave us the best care that she could possibly give us while we were there and care us to the right people and the right places in the hospital. And we went.
Did you
We went and they kept me and they started to do my vitals and everything and they tried to save the foot. They really tried. The doctors really, really tried, but it was a little too late. I should have come earlier when the foot started, when they started now, before they amputated the toe. So I
Mhm.
was a little too late. So
did
they
you
had to
feel
remove me.
did you feel scared or frustrated?
I wouldn't really say scared. I wasn't scared, but I studied that I can't work anymore. I studied that how I'm supporting my wife, how I'm going to pay my bills, how I'm going to live, how I'm going to pay my utilities. How am I supposed to, how am I going to pay my car payments? How am I going to pay payments on my car? I might lose it, and that the same car I need to go to dialysis. I study all kind of thing. I lost a lot of things. I even lost friends and all. And the
Hmm.
funny thing, I lost friends, but again, better people in my life, better friends.
Hmm.
So I could tell you, it wasn't the easy road. It's not something nice because a hurtful thing. I'm still go through grieving, but thank God I have a great wife that keep me going. Try to get my mind off it. Don't study it. We'll get through this. These are things she will tell me to motivate me. You could do this. Up to today, Steve, I can't even walk with a crutch. Just recently, a friend of mine's, she came, Denise. Her name is Denise. She's from South. She came here from Pond Fortin, and she came and she was trying to show me how to use the scratches. And I said, "Boy, they're brave, yes." I fallen with the scratches. I just terrified of the crutches, but I used no walker to walk with. But she's coming back again to teach me how to walk with. And I have a friend also in Florida. He's also an amputee, Andre, and he's really my backbone support. He and Denise, two of them are friends, and they are my support right now to get me started on these crutches and to build my legs and things. Because if I sit down for too long, my legs will get weak, and this time I need to move about on the leg, one leg at least, until I get a prosthetic.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
they already told me it's not going to be easy with a prosthetic. You still get pain, but you have to learn to bite pain. So I'm kind of scared too for that too as well.
Got you. Got you. And now, Jeff,
Yeah.
that journey when you went from Trinidad to North Carolina, was that a hard journey for you physically and emotionally?
No, it wasn't really hard. You know, it was a lot of pain, but getting there financially, I had to raise the funds through my family. I had an aunt and uncle who was very instrumental, and my cousin Dion and teacher my uncle Neville. They helped me. And my um, excuse me, my client Sunday, Sue. You know, all these people. I could call them my name. A set of them. They really helped me financially to get across there
Awesome.
for emergency. You know, and my wife's family, my mother-in-law, they were very instrumental as well. And my grandmother-in-law, which is my wife's grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
they helped a lot. And they had barbecues, they threw barbecues and stuff, you know, to raise funds and different things. But you know, everybody came together with raffles and different things to help in my journey.
That's awesome.
And I have to thank them so much, my aunt and uncle, Uncle Neville, Auntie Jama, Dion, my cousins, and they really helped me, you know, to get through, you know, and my mother-in-law and friends and close friends, you know, Sue and, you know, a lot of people. Up to this day, I still have people like Auntie Delia, you know, and Auntie Delia is always instrumental for the spiritual aspect of my life, you know what I mean, that make me changed, you know, to put more focus on my Almighty God, you know what I mean? And this is what I'm doing right now, you know? And I am grateful to all these people, you know? And even though if they can't help, they will still help. Don't mind they have their own worries and problems. They would never tell me, they would never say no. They'll say, Geoffrey, I'll try to help you, but I can. And I appreciate that, you know? So I have to say, I have to say to myself, God has blessed me with a lot of great people on my journey, and I'm still going through my journey. You know, I'm so grateful to my family. I'm really grateful to my family and friends. Who I didn't mention, I'm sorry I didn't mention your names, but you know who you are. You know, you know who you are. So that's basically it. But still, right now, you know, it's tough to deal with where I can't. Sometimes I have to stay on my bed. The only time I might leave here is to go to dialysis or go to a clinic appointment
All right.
and back home. I don't really go places.
Jeff, hold that thought right quick. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause and do a
Okay.
quick PSA, and then we're going to return with our myths versus facts and see if you get some stuff right or myths pertaining to uh, kidney disease. So, everyone, we'll
Yes.
be right back in a few.
Okay, Steve.
Hello, I'm Darren. We have breaking news. More than 600,000 Americans have kidney failure. While the number of people with kidney failure is enormous, the number of people with its precursor, chronic kidney disease, is staggering. An estimated 31 million Americans, or about 10% of the US population. Diabetes and hypertension cause 2/3 of all cases of kidney disease. 1 out of every 3 Americans is at risk for kidney disease, and kidney disease is now among the top 10 causes of death in the United States. In addition, 9 out of 10 people with early to moderate kidney disease don't know they have it, putting their health in jeopardy. Are you at risk? For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org. The life you save may be yours.
All right, we're back with Dialysis in Life with Steve, the kidney nurse. And this part of the segment, before we continue our talk with Geoffrey from Trinidad, we're going to do a myth versus facts segment. This is our Dialysis in Life with Steve, the kidney nurse, myth versus facts. And so our first myth or facts, and Jeff, I want you to tell me what you think is myth. Dialysis patients can't enjoy life or travel in Trinidad. Do you think that's a myth or a fact, Jeff?
Steve, repeat the question.
So, do you think this is a myth or a fact that dialysis patients can't enjoy life or travel in Trinidad? Do you think that's a myth or a fact?
They can enjoy life, the fact, yes.
They can or they can't?
They can enjoy life. Some of them do. It depends on,
Yes,
you
absolutely,
see,
absolutely.
everybody.
It doesn't matter if you have an amputation or whatever, you can still enjoy life and travel safely. So that's no. So we got two more. The second one, you can't manage diabetes after losing the leg. Do you think that's
Yes,
a
you
myth
can.
or fact?
It's a fact, yeah, you can manage diabetes, yes.
Yes, you can have you can thrive with proper care and support.
Correct.
And you do have support. Your wife is your biggest support, correct?
Yeah, she's my biggest support.
Great. All right. Our last myth versus fact, dialysis means life is over. Do you think that's a myth or a fact?
Myth.
That's a myth.
Myth.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hear your lovely wife helping you out. That's great.
Yes.
Can rebuild and thrive. Dialysis doesn't mean it's the end of the world.
No, it's not the end of the world.
And thrive. So I want to thank you for participating in that. And so let's continue with our interview. Jeff, when you decided to go to Atrium Health to North Carolina from Trinidad, can you describe your experience once you were admitted to Atrium Health? You had mentioned earlier it was nice to you, but can you go into describing your experience and how they were nice to you when you was admitted?
Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
They were just
Yeah,
great,
very nice.
Steve. They were very welcoming. They were great. They were very professional. The nurses take good care of me. It was really nice. They took me outside after my surgery and everything until I catch myself. They took me out. They carried me for watch me. I had a wonderful welcome. A wonderful welcome, wonderful healthcare. It was great. Great food, great meals. Dietitian meals.
So the nursing staff was professional and
Very professional, very
dedicated.
professional, and serious about the job and the things you put in your body. So they were very great. Therapy was great. Everything, everything.
Did you feel more hopeful there?
Yes, yes, most definitely.
Now, let me ask you, how did the staff communicate with you about your condition?
Very professional, Steve. Very professional. They gave me a whole diet plan there. I still have it there. A diet sheet. You know, they went through step by step. Very professional. Even the therapist, when I lost the leg, other therapists used to come in every day to see me and counsel me through this and thing, my wife as well. So they were very professional, Steve. They
So
were very professional.
how long did rehabilitation take you?
About a month. About 1 month.
About a month. And you were going through dialysis while you were there?
Yes, sir. Yes, I was going through that as well as well.
So What do you remember about the seizures and the time you spent in the coma?
Boy, I can't tell my wife had to tell you that one because I was knockout cold. She was up for them days.
He was on a ventilator.
I was in a ventilator.
Well,
Um,
yes.
So wait a minute. So let's go back. When did the seizure happen? Do you remember the day that happened?
soon as I lose the foot, when did that
That
happen?
happened in December of 23.
December of 2023.
Oh, were you in the hospital
It's for
at the
December,
time?
but it's for December. Yeah, that time.
About a week being
About
in
a week being in
Right.
hospital.
Yeah, about a week being in hospital there, you got the seizure.
And I got the seizure there,
They took
and
you to ICU.
they took me to ICU, and I spent about 2 or 3 weeks in the ICU.
Do you remember anything? People coming in or out? The lights, the machines beeping, anybody talking?
No, only thing my wife was telling me, she said I just started to get seizures, and just they press some button on a wall, and a swarm of nurses, doctors fly in the room. And she said, boy, that the fact she see my clothes come off.
Put on a gum,
And they put on a gown on me,
and they went to ICU.
and I went straight to ICU. That was it. And from there, I was in a coma with a tube down my throat.
I hear your wife in the background, and she
Yeah,
got
she's right there.
Was she nervous?
Well, she can tell you the
Were you
story, yeah.
worried
She
at
could
the
tell
time
you.
that happened?
I was scared.
Say it harder. You said, she said.
Yeah, I wasn't so nervous, I was scared. Because everything
Okay.
happened so fast. Yeah. I was scared. I wasn't, you know.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
Geoffrey, how long were you in the coma?
3 years.
3 days.
3 days.
Yeah.
3 days.
Do you remember waking up? And what did you see when you first opened your eyes? Do you remember
You see?
anything?
You have to listen to the
The
first 2
time I started to hallucinate.
weeks.
For the first 2 weeks, I started to get trouble. They bring the security.
Right. So something
Well,
called Provan
there's something called they give me was Deprovan
to keep you sedated.
to keep me sedated, right?
And because of that, you was
Because of it,
hallucinating for
I
2
was
weeks.
hallucinating for 2 weeks. So they had to have the security there at my door to protect my wife. Because I tell them that she kidnapped me.
Like, uh,
I call the cops. The cops call her back, you know, and she told them what was wrong with me and whatever. Until everything started to wear out and I started to catch back myself and all the things came out of my throat. They take out the lines, the ventilation lines and stuff. I started to catch back myself, my old self. You know, so it
So
wasn't easy.
when you finally kind of came around and kind of woken up, what was the first thing you understood about your situation?
Wow. Steve,
hey, mama.
I felt the pain when I woke up. My neck,
You had the
because I had the access for the dialysis in my neck. I gave a bit pain, and then I had a tube in my foot. Apparently, they removed the foot, but it was draining whatever access in my foot, whatever infection in my foot, or whatever. And because I don't think they removed the foot as yet,
There's nobody
they just moved by the ankle there, and there was
Oh, wow.
draining something. And when I woke up, I went back to sleep, and that was it. And the following day, I got to realize my foot gone. And from there, it was a painful time in the leg and everything. And then they bring the machine to the room to do dialysis and stuff. But I couldn't get accustomed to it because I didn't know the feelings. Because when they pulled too much water, I didn't know how to feel. I started to feel, you know, going out of it, like something was wrong. And I telling the nurse, she said, like I put in too much water, she put back water in the mouth. So I started to try to get accustomed to everything. Just now.
You got a
I try
lot
not
going
to
on over there.
have dogs trying to get it. Hang it up.
I can hear feedback
Right.
over there. There we go. So Jeff,
Yeah,
we know that your wife said she was scared when you was going through all this in North Carolina. How did your loved ones respond during that time back in Trinidad? How did they respond to your situation?
No,
Well,
didn't respond because it's just us.
majority of them didn't respond. It was just us. Only my immediate family, it was just my aunt and my uncle I was describing about, and my cousin.
Right,
They
right.
were
And
the
your
closest
friends,
to me and
how did
helping
they
me,
respond?
and my mother-in-law.
Were they nervous?
And
Were they scared for you during that time?
they were praying. Everybody was in prayer. Everybody was in prayer. You know, everybody was in prayer for me to pull through, and they couldn't know what Chanel was going through because he tried to keep in contact with family to let them know what's going on with me. So, you know, everybody was in prayer. You know?
So, Jeff, how did you cope with learning you were on dialysis after waking up?
How I cope with the dialysis?
No,
Tough.
when you woke up, how did you cope with learning you were on dialysis after you woke up out of the coma?
Steve, that was real hard on my body, boy. That was really hard and still is. You know, most days I can't catch myself. Pains in the body, bone pain, muscle pain. It's not easy. Just
Right.
saying down here alone have body pains, neck pains, bone pains. I don't know why. You know, it's not an easy road. You know, this is very hard.
So let me ask you
I
this.
don't think
When you went to North Carolina, you was going there for your foot. And so the seizure and everything happened. And when you woke up in North Carolina, you were on dialysis. You wasn't on dialysis before North Carolina, correct?
no.
So when you woke up and you found out when you was on dialysis, was that news shocking for you to
Oh
learn that
yeah.
you were doing kidney dialysis?
Oh yes. Yes. I thought that was part of the procedure and removing the leg and that had a line there and stuff. I didn't know it was all that. My wife had to explain it to me so I would understand what is going on. You know, why they put these lines in me, why I'm on this machine, why my blood leaving my body and going to this machine. So she had to explain it to me. And, you know, I'm still trying to understand it, but, you know, what you can do? How to live with it now.
So, Geoffrey, what has helped you adjust to dialysis since then?
Who helps me to go to dialysis?
No, what has helped you adjust to dialysis since first starting? What has
You
helped you
can't
adjust
just,
to it?
I can't just, this is not me. I custom moving, working, doing this, cooking, cleaning my house, very independent, seeing about my dogs, my animals, you know, doing things, helping people. You know, that's what I custom doing. Another custom being in a room and a bed, laying down, all they can move about as they want, you know. It's tough, Steve. It's really tough. It's really hard.
So you don't feel like you adjusted to dialysis?
No, I don't think I'll ever will. I don't think I will ever will because it's not a great feeling dialyzing. Sometimes if they pull too much water, you feel sick, you get cramps in your stomach, you get cramps all over your body. You know, it's not a nice feeling. If your pressure too low, you feel like you're going to pass out. You know, it varies. It varies. It have its days and it have its good days, have its bad days.
So let me
You
ask you,
know,
how many days a week do you go?
3 days a week, to Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
Wow.
AM in the morning from 11.
Hey, let me tell you, I mean, I know dialysis may seem bad, but you're blessed for 3 days a week, because in Jamaica they only do twice a week. In Kenya,
Wow.
twice a week. And so in other
Wow.
places they only do 2 times a week. And you know, you can still are you are you mobile using a wheelchair, or you use a walker?
I'm in a wheelchair right now. I'm using a wheelchair.
Oh, okay.
Walker sometimes to get to the bathroom and stuff.
Got you, got you.
Yeah.
What let me ask you, what access do you have now? Do you have a catheter, or is it in your arm?
Firm cap.
Oh, okay. So you had this.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, and how long you been on dialysis now?
We're on 3 years. 3 years now.
And have they tried to put an access in your arm? Is it your veins because of the
Like,
diabetes?
yeah, they try, but I don't want that. I'll get it. I'll get it when I get the leg. Once I'm not dependent on the arm to climb the stairs, to hop up the step down the stairs, because use the arms to hop down the stairs, to hold the railings, to hop down, and to hop back up sometimes. Because when they putting that physical in my hand, I need the rest my hand. I can't use it to bring myself to go down the stairs and come back to go dialysis. So when I get the leg, I will consider doing the fistula. But I really don't like the fistula, but I the bumpy, bumpy looking things on your hand and how it is grow into something different, I
Gotcha.
see some fistulas, boy. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's tough.
Is the fistula safer?
I'm
I saw
sorry.
that burst already, I heard that burst already. Burst
Say
in
that
somebody's
again.
home. I heard that, I saw that burst in my center already from somebody's hand. It burst and the person bleed and bled out. They died.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know, it's scary. That's why I didn't really think about putting it.
Yeah, but let me
The
just
doctor's
say
off.
this. Let me just say this as a nurse professional working in the field. I mean, you don't know the situation of that person, because each person's situation is different when it comes to that.
Yes, everybody's
Uh,
different.
yeah, with the access, that can't happen
I'm
if
trying to come
if
inside.
they're sticking at the same spot and develop what's called aneurysms. That can't happen, but it can be avoided at the same time. Jeff, let me ask you, because we're coming down to the last 10 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
Um, how has losing your left leg and living with dialysis affected your life today?
Look, it affects me dramatically. I can't work. I don't get any kind of funding. I applied to get it from my social department, but everything in this country is take forever. So I have to say the kindness of my friends, strangers, and I have a friend, like I said, and a good friend of mine, Sue, and I have a good friend of mine, Andre. He was very helpful in helping me as well to get there, to get to my dancing sessions. And Sue, I can always call her my aunt and uncle. They also helped me and my wife and my mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law.
Hmm.
So it's affected me a lot. I
So
can't do anything.
how do you get the treatment now?
Well, through
The government.
the government pay part and I have to pay the other part.
They have
Big
like
chunk.
The government is pay chunk,
The big chunk.
the big chunk, and I just had to pay
1200.
about $1,200
okay,
every month.
got you, got you. So
Because they say the certain days the government pay a certain amount for the month. I have a certain amount of sessions for the month.
12 sessions.
12 sessions for the month, and I have to pay the rest.
right,
I get 12
okay,
sessions for the month, and I have to pay the rest.
What the government pay, center goes to have a extra 100 per session.
Yeah.
So that is what rounded off to 1200 a month.
But
okay.
I never got to understand it, yeah, Steve. My wife knew it better than me because she's a woman of business. She's deal with them.
No,
Because when they're talking to me, it's like they're confusing me.
no, I completely understand what she's saying. That the
Yeah,
government pays a portion, and you pay a
yeah,
portion, but they pay a larger amount of
Yeah.
the portion.
yeah.
So it's the
But what
same
they're
here in
planning,
the U.S.
yeah, correct.
Yeah. So Jeff, through this journey, what has been the hardest part of your journey?
Not working,
Pain. Pain.
pains, the ache pains, the body pains,
Dialysis is not a pain.
the dialysis leave me in a lot of pain. A lot of pain, a lot of pain. It is hard, tiredness, always in my bed, I'm sleeping, lying down. I can't stay up for too long because I'm tired. It's really tough. Maybe if I get a leg, I might be able to walk around the place and keep the body active. Maybe, I don't know if it'll work, but it'll have it drained. Totally, totally drained. Totally. Because normally if I wasn't here now, I done my bed sleeping. Done my bed lying down resting because my body tired, my body hurting, me aches and pains. You
E-
know? Huh?
even that on TikTok.
Yeah.
Tell me about you got on TikTok on TikTok. You know
Yeah.
that because I always on TikTok with you. Right?
So
So, but my wife was asking me to ask about what really causing these bone pains. I taking all my calcium tablets
Yeah, one alpha one.
and alpha one, um the big tablets we call them.
They're taking in
you talking about the binders?
postal binders.
The binders, I taking my binders. And what is the next one?
You on alpha one alpha.
And one alpha, and what's the next one?
That's for the bone pain.
That for the bone pain.
But did PTH, and your PTH is 654.5.
Yeah, I did a PTH of 600 PTH and it came up to 600.5.
No, 654.5.
654.5, sorry.
That's not really that high. I really can't answer what's the cause because I mean I would have to look at your records just to shift through them to see what your calcium been running like over time. If you've been running high calciums, low calcium,
Low
high
calcium.
phosphorus,
Low calcium.
yeah,
No,
and see
no calcium.
over time, that could possibly contribute to bone pain. And this is where the calcium tab, because you got to understand, people with chronic kidney disease, they're going dialysis. When your kidneys shut down, they stop making activated vitamin D.
Yeah.
And so
Right.
that's really one of the big things. Somebody put in here Revella.
Right.
But you got to keep up with that. You got to.
But the doctor put me on
Huh?
Vitamin D3. Give me vitamin D3 to take. So I'm taking it.
Yeah, is that what your doctor
Yes.
suggested
Yeah.
and the dietitian? Okay. Yeah, make sure you just keep up with your binders. If they
Yeah,
telling
taking the
you,
binders. Yeah, most
yeah, if
definitely.
they're telling you to take so many with each meal and so many with each snack, definitely
Yes.
do it. So let me ask you, last part of this question. What keeps you going through the difficult days?
My wife, my wife and the Almighty Father,
I heard a
God.
little, I heard a dog barking over there as well.
Yeah, he's somewhere outside the door. I
Uh-huh.
have a little cocker spaniel there. He's
Yeah.
somewhere around.
Have you thought about transplant?
Yes, I thought about it. Yes, I went and checked. I went on the list. I put my name on the list.
I went and checked my.
My wife went to check her kidneys. It's not a match. You know, and even though if somebody's a match for you, not in my country, they weren't gonna give you a kidney. Trust me. Not unless you have $120,000 to give them. Trinidad dollars.
Right, right. So as we
A
come
joke. This
down,
is a joke, eh, Steve?
huh?
I went to this place in Trinidad called Cure. So in Cure have a lot of
Home.
dwellers, homeless people around. So a friend of mine stopped on and asked him, "Hey brother, this guy needs a kidney." Yeah, when he wanted. Now you have a knife? You might want to cut the kidney and give me this. A
Well,
dweller, a street dweller.
you
I said,
know,
I'm not funny.
yeah, here in the United States, that's buying a kidney, selling your organ is illegal.
Is exactly, you know. So
Yeah,
so we still there on the donor list, we still waiting, even in here in Trinidad. We on the deceased donor list as well. So, we just waiting to see. Um yes, I have brothers and sisters. I have sisters, not brothers, but sisters, but they wouldn't want the part.
They're not as healthy.
They're not as healthy.
They have their problems.
They have their own problems because they have kids and you know they have their own thing going on. Their own medicals.
I definitely hear you on that. So let me ask you before we close the show. I want to give this last part to you. What do you want people to know that's watching about your situation dealing with kidney disease?
Well, people
Because
out there,
let me say
you
this.
guys.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Because like I said in the beginning, I know you tried to come up on several panels when people were talking, I guess, to share your situation. So here's that opportunity now, because we do have some people watching from TikTok and
Right.
So what do you want people to know about you and your life in Trinidad dealing with kidney disease?
Well, life with Trinidad kidney disease is the same as abroad, but just in America you have more advantage of healthcare. Trinidad do already have much of that. They have healthcare in Trinidad, but not the best as the best, but it is there. Um, what I can tell the people out there: take care of your kidneys, eat the right thing, diet, exercise, do what you have to do not to be in my position on dialysis. It's not a nice thing. It's a stressful thing. It's an expensive lifestyle, very expensive, and it's not an easy road to travel because I have to deal with the amputated leg plus dialysis. And trust me, I don't have it easy. How I get down in the morning to go to dialysis is hop down on one leg, down the stairs, And when I come back up, I have to get somebody to lift my chair, and my wife had to lift the front, and a guy have to lift the back, and it do come for free. I have to pay the guy every time I come from dialysis to get back up the stairs because I don't have the energy to hop up on one leg to go up the stairs. So what I can tell the people out there is that take care of your kidneys. You know, don't overdo it with the foods because some of the food have things to damage your kidneys. Be careful what you're drinking. Stay away from the alcohol, the rum, and different things like that will damage your kidneys. You know what I mean? Because I don't wish this on my worst enemy to have kidney failure or renal failure or go into kidney failure. It's not a good feeling. Try and save your kidneys the best way you could and take care of them. Because to dialyze is not a nice thing. It have its painful days, it have its stressful days. And sometimes when I'm dialysis, I cry. You know what I mean? I cry, tears come out my eye because you just feel your whole life just gone away from you. You know what I mean? But like I said, by the grace of God, I'm still here, and the prayers of a lot of people, the prayers of my wife family, they keep me going, especially my mother-in-law as well. She keeps me going. And my aunt Delia, she keeps me going as well. So, I'm really eternally grateful to them, you know. And that's it, Steve, it's not an easy road, it's a hard road, Steve. It's a really hard road.
I'm
Especially
sure.
when you're not working, it makes it harder because you have to take care of yourself and your home and your family. And when you can't do these things, when you don't have a leg and you're on dialysis, it's hard for me. I can't do what I used to do before, I mean? It's really tough.
Jeff, just know you're not alone in your journey. Is a lot of
Sometimes I wonder if I'm alone.
no, just know you're not alone. And I just my suggestion is keep, you know, I know you said you had your wife for support and you go to
Yes.
dialysis, you come home, and if you wasn't on here, you'd be laying down. I would I would just suggest keep plugging in the community in the kidney
Yes.
space, on TikTok, on other social media, Facebook. They have a lot of support groups there, and
Yes.
you will see other people who share what they're going through. Some people sharing that they're going through so much that they're ready to stop dialysis treatment because they
Yeah.
are in constant pain, and
Yeah,
it's
sometimes I want to stop too, sometimes I want to stop, but my wife not allowing me to stop, you know. Sometimes
yeah,
feel the throwing the towel, you know what I mean? Sometimes feel the throwing the towel, but she is convincing to stop, you know what I mean? It's really tough, you know. Because sometimes you can't even afford to go to dialysis at times. Today I couldn't go to dialysis, I couldn't reach it, but I called a friend and he was able to help me. And I reached. Not all the time I'll be able to go all the time, you know what I mean? But I reached, you know what I mean? He helped me reach. He reached out to me and helped me, and I really appreciated that, you know what I mean? At that time, because remember, Steve, I'm not working, and you can't eat
right,
fuel. You have to live, you have to go places, you have to get buy medication, although yes, some of the medication might get free, but not everything is free. You have to pay for it over the counter. So I don't have it easy, and sometimes it's you can feel the throwing towel to give up, you know what I mean? Because it's so much to lose a leg and be on dialysis, oh God, and then I have to get prosthetics, It's really tough, you know. But I should be able to get my early on this year, I'm supposed to be, hopefully to with Almighty, I'll get my prosthetics. And I'll be able to be mobile and go back to work and do what I have to do. Go back being self-employed, you know?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's not an easy road, Steve. Anybody can tell, any dialysis patient can tell it's not an easy road.
I'm
You know,
sure.
because some of the dialysis patients try to help each other, you know, the best they could. You know what I mean? And it's really nice. You know what I mean? But this road we travel is not an easy road. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish I had my own machine. I could have just do it at home. You know, instead
Yeah.
of going to these places. You know. You know, sometimes they sort of put up with nonsense at times. Sometimes they're doing things to harm you where you could get infection in your line. You know, you gotta be very careful. You know, sometimes they're telling the right thing and it just sometimes some people just feel they know everything, you know?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, because
Jeff.
from the time you learn from the nurses abroad, you know what I mean? When somebody go doing something wrong, you don't do it wrong. You understand? Because they're doing everything right, they do everything by the book. You know what I mean? You know,
So
but
let me interrupt you for a moment. We had two comments that I want to share. Brother Larry Keith Hall, who's been on my show before. Thank you, brother, for tuning in. He says, Jeff, that he's been on dialysis for almost 27 years, and
wow.
he's an amputee for the last 2 years. He says, but you still had to keep praying and doing your best, brother. So I would reach
Amen.
out
Thank
to him.
you.
He's on Facebook, Larry Hall, Larry Keith Hall. He has a very unique story. Uh,
Okay.
but I give you his information. And then we got P Teach that says, thank you for sharing insight on your journey. Please know others are out here on the journey and find value in your story. Prayers are
Thank you.
truly with you, and we are sending them out for you. Thank you. And that's one of my
Thank
great
you.
support PTs. Thank you for showing
Wow,
up,
that's really
PT,
nice. Thank you.
Larry, and Cornisha Williams. Thank you. Sure. So yeah, Jeff. That's why I played those myths versus facts because life is not over, and I just want you to know that. And once you get your strength and your prosthetic, I want work on that and get back
Yeah.
outside and walk. You and your wife go walking and start enjoying some of the things that you used to do before uh, dealing with this. So, with that being said, do you want to give any shout outs before we end the show? Anybody you want to thank or give
I
shout
just
out?
want to thank my wife, Chanel, for being there for me and helping
Shout
me
out to
through
Chanel.
everything.
Okay.
Like to thank my aunt and uncle, Auntie Gemma, Uncle Neville, Dion, my cousin Dion, and my friend Sue from South, Andre from from Atlanta, Georgia, Andre and his lovely wife, the both of them, and also a friend, Denise, thank her as well. She's the person that will be training me to use these crutches and being mobile again. So no, I have to say I'm grateful for these people and also to my pastor, um, Chris Tambo Herbert. Thank you so much. He has been instrumental in helping me and Auntie Delia. She's in the Virgin Islands. She's really helpful to me and Auntie Nana and these people. There's a lot of people. You know, these people has been so instrumental in helping me catching back myself and going the distance with me and traveling and going places and stuff like that and surviving this battle, you know. And I thank God for them and I'm grateful for them, you
Yeah.
know.
We had another comment from Kanisha Williams. Says life does not end with CKD. Just keep the faith, bro, and pray.
Thank you. Thank
So
you,
we
Willis
have a lot
Williams.
of
Thank
support
you.
in the space. So I would just say stay plugged in, stay locked in, and just keep pushing, Jeff. And
Thank you,
keep
Steve.
following me
Thank
on
you. And
TikTok.
Steve, I want to thank you for being that close friend to me and helping me in my journey with dialysis. I've learned a lot from your program. God bless you with your program. And I don't know what made you do this to help us, but you're helping us very well. And it is making me much stronger in my dialysis and how to cope with it. So thank you so much, Steve, for your program and what you're doing for everyone around the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Geoffrey. I appreciate that, those kind words. And like I always tell people, if you ever need to reach out to me, you have my number, you have my DM. Any questions, concerns about your treatment, you're more than welcome to, reach out to me anytime. And I sincerely mean
Okay,
that.
Steve. Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate it.
Yeah. And so with that being said, I'm going to drop you down and close the show. But I want to wish you the best in your journey. Keep pushing. I'd like to thank your wife for assisting you with this interview and being there for you. Please give her my thanks. And
Yes, sir, I will do.
keep moving forward, Jeff. And
Yes,
we'll
sir.
talk soon, okay?
Right. Thank you,
All right.
Steve. I appreciate it. Thank you, audience. Thank you, viewers, for watching. Thank you so much, guys, for watching.
All right, Jeff. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, Steve, take it easy.
All
We'll
right.
chat.
Thanks. All
Yeah,
right.
buddy.
Yes, this was a great interview. And I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in to watch episode 4. Next week will be episode 5. We're going to keep it moving with another story. And also, as you see, I added to, hold on, I got another comment. Larry, Steve. Okay, I will. He's in Trinidad. So you're going to be talking long distance. They're going to be requesting you international. But yeah, I'll do that, Larry. Absolutely. And thank you for that. Thank you for that. But before I leave or close the show, if you haven't noticed, now in the middle of the show, we have something called Myth versus Fact segment, where each show we have different myths versus facts. And this one was pertaining to my guest, Geoffrey, by him being amputee, left leg, and living in Trinidad. We kind of generated some myths versus facts pertaining dialysis and living life in Trinidad and still being impacted by this disease. It doesn't mean life is over. It definitely doesn't mean that. So, and then we have other segments that we're going to be, depending on the person that's on. We got a caregiver corner segment where we shed light on caregivers. We have a recovery road. You had a transplant. You want to be on the show. Share your story. We have patient spotlight, which tonight, this is what this was. We're going to have mailbag, listeners, Q&A. And then back to the myth versus fact segment. So we got a lot going on here. We want to make it interesting, educational, and informational, also fun at the same time. So with that being said, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next week. Have a great week. God bless. This your boy Steve, the kidney nurse, and I'm out. Peace.
Steve on the mic, yeah, the nurse got skill, break it down smooth, keep the whole squad chill, talking about kidneys, yeah, we keep them on track. If your numbers off balance, he gon' bring them right back. Got the wisdom on deck, no stress, just facts, hydration, motivation every time he reacts. From the clinic hallway to your podcast feed, dropping gems so fresh, yeah, that's all you need. Stevethekidneynurse, yeah, you know the name, keep your body in check, yeah, we play no games, real talk, real health, yeah, we keep it pure, tap in right now, Stevethekidneynurse, yeah. The kidney nurse, yeah. Stevethekidneynurse.